everybody, this is Danny with Legendary Muscle, and today I'm here with Tom and his 1933 Ford Fordor. Thanks for being on the show.
Thanks for having me here today.
So Tom's had his cars on our show before. If you guys recall, he had the Mercedes, the little sleeper Mercedes. This car I feel is no different, but I know this car has a lot of history. Do you want to tell the audience a little bit about this car?
Well, this car's been part of our family, like our friends of ours. My parents used to work with a lady named Margie Jones. She lived in Philadelphia. And Marge and my mom worked together, and they stayed friends for many years, and her husband, Charlie Jones, was a hot rodder. And me and my brother, we absolutely loved the hot rods and all. We found out Charlie had a hot rod. That was it. We had to go over and see the car and all that, and that's where it all began with me with this car.
Okay. So you told me a story about actually you being in the car at one point as a kid, huh?
Yeah, Charlie passed away in 1975 of cancer, and the Philadelphia modifiers and the mod teaks helped put the car together again so he could get one last ride in before he passed away. And they accomplished it, and this car has been painted since 1974-75, so we have a 50-year-old paint job on this hot rod.
Okay.
So after Charlie had passed, his wife Marge took myself and my brother for a ride in. I was about 12 years old. And we were hooked. We went cruising down the road. It was really cool. So we stayed in touch with Marge, and for many years. And she had the car for a while and downsized and ended up selling it. So
okay. So do you know when they actually got the car? How long
they've had the car since about 1968? It's about as far back as I can see. Like even the Kragers on the back are from 1968. So we kind of try to keep this thing as much as possible the way it used to be.
Mm-hmm. And you want to drive it too? And
oh yeah,
it's not a trailer queen, right?
No, it's not. We had it down to Tampa Street Rod Show, and then we had it down to Wesley Chapel. They did a hot rod appreciation show.
Okay.
Took her for a ride, couple-hour ride. She runs good.
So, car. I meant, I know you said you got this car. It was already painted, but do you know what this color came off of?
It's probably a Cadillac color.
Okay.
Back in the 70s. It's just a single coat. It's not a clear coat job, so you got to be real careful polishing it, or you don't burn through the paint.
Okay, gotcha. And the interior and everything, is there anything original in that interior you know of?
No, that's a little story in itself right there. The car came and used to have Camaro seats in it. Back in the day, they being an old school hot rod, they'd had Camaro seats in it built up on seat pedestals. And after I got down here, one of my buddies, his name is Greg Saunders, he lives down in Wesley Chapel. He's got a 34 Ford Fordor, and he was changing out his interior. He goes, "Hey, do you know anybody who would be interested in my seats?" And I said, "Oh yeah, I would love to get those seats." So I struck a deal with them, and I got the seats, and we put the seats in. It was funny because the seats bolted right in the original holes. They just unbolt,
great.
Boom, put them right in there. It was incredible.
Between the 33 and the 34?
Seats are identical. And his car also came from Pennsylvania, as this car did as well.
Okay. Now, I'm looking on top. Is this convertible or something?
No, it's not a convertible, but that's what Henry Ford did. He tried to save money on sheet metal, so they put that top thing in there, and that was a way of saving money.
Okay. Yeah.
He was very thrifty.
yeah, but hey, that was back in the day. They were pioneering all this stuff right here. They were figuring out woodies and whatnot and this and that.
Yep.
And, so about the undercarriage of the car, because you mentioned it has Kragers, and it's got some pretty beefy tires, especially in the back. Do you know the size of those?
I don't recall the size we bought them, but put them on there. It's got a stock chassis on it. It's got a standard front axle. It's a 4-inch drop on the front. When I got the car, it sat up pretty high, so we dropped it down 4 inches. So we lowered the back and got the front knocked down. And it got 15-inch wheels on the back and 14s on the front. We wanted that California rig, so yeah, that's what we got.
That's what you get. That's awesome. And it looks like the grille and everything is still pretty much all original, huh?
It is. The body of the car is very original. It's all steel. There's no patch panels in it, no fiberglass or anything. It is all steel.
Nice.
So it's
beautiful. And it being in Pennsylvania, I mean, you guys get snow up there and everything, and the car's not rotted, nothing, and it's...
Well, they took care of it. They kept it in the garage. At one point, the Jones family was using it as a daily driver back in the 60s. They needed a car, so it worked. Yeah. And Marge always told me, make sure you drive it and enjoy it, and that's what I do.
Well, we look at what you just said, and it's like, oh my God, they drive it on a daily, but if you look at it, 34 to the 60s, that's only 30 years old. I see a lot of Camrys here that are 30 years old and people are driving them. So I mean, back then it wasn't really a big deal to drive around in one of these.
I guess. Well, now the car's 91 years old, so
now it's a different story.
It's a whole different ball game. But the car's got a 429 Cadillac engine. It's 1965 Caddy engine, and it'll run highway speed with no problem.
Nice.
70, 80 miles an hour on it.
What transmission does it have backing up?
It's got a turbo 400, and it's got a 57 Chevy rear end in it.
Nice, a 57 Chevy.
57 Chevy. Yeah, the car was built old school. It was, nowadays you can go to Jags or Summit or whoever and buy all these new parts. Well, back in 1975, they didn't have that option.
You had to source things out.
So this car, you just can't buy a crate engine back then. So they would put the biggest engine, get more bang for the buck. So that's how this thing got the Cadillac engine in it. And it is jammed in there.
Yeah, it does look very tucked away in there. Now, the rear end 57, did they have to shorten it or anything, or
pretty much? It looks as though it was a bolt in. There's nothing cut on it or anything.
Oh, that's pretty cool.
And it's got the old buggy springs in the front, so it doesn't have that independent suspension. People ask how it drives. It drives like a 33 Ford.
So now your Cadillac engine, you said a 429, right?
Yes, it's 1965.
Did they alter anything in like the internals, or
no? It's pretty much stock, and it'll go. It's got a load of torque.
Oh yeah, I bet.
Load of torque.
You know more or less what's the weight ratio on this car?
No idea, but I know that Joker's heavy.
All right. Well, I'd love to take a ride in it. You think it's possible?
Absolutely.
All right, let's go.
That's what it's for.
Right, so I appreciate this ride with us.
Oh, you're welcome. Glad to do it.
So, this car, it's been through a couple of hands already, huh?
Yeah, the Jones family bought the car in about 1968 is about what I could come up with, and they kept it for many years after Charlie passed away in 75. His wife Marge took care of the car, and she hung on to it for about another 25 years. Her and her new husband, they downsized. The car then went to another one of the members of the Philadelphia Modifiers, and he kept it for a few years, did some playing with it, and as he got a little bit older, and he ended up selling the car to another guy named John Norris, and that's who I got the car from.
Oh, okay. And you said it was your son that found it, huh?
Yeah, my son found it. It was on the internet. The car was going to England, but I talked to John, and I told him the story about the car. He goes, "I'd rather have you have the car," so a deal was made.
All right. So, through all the years, because this is a very old car, how many colors has this car gone through? I mean, paint jobs, whatnot.
Well, I know it's been a silver blue. It was a two-tone color, silver blue body, dark blue fenders, and then it was green. And then the color got changed to burgundy, which it is right now. The paint job on the car is 50 years old.
50 years old, huh? So, on this car, the stance and everything. What's your suspension setup, actually?
It's 33 Ford. It's got the original style front axle on it. It's a 4-inch drop. It's got a 57 Chevy rear in the back. It's got leaf springs. We have disc brakes on the front, drum brakes on the back.
Oh, okay. And so with that setup, and you got a big engine in it, which these cars, what engines actually came in these cars?
These cars can come with a 4-cylinder or 60 horsepower flathead. This one currently has a 429 Caddy.
Yeah. Now have you taken this thing out to the track?
We haven't raced it. I have taken it to the Halloween car show up at Gainesville Raceway. My daughter and myself won the Bonnie and Clyde costume contest. We have fun with it. And also, I took my girlfriend out to a Halloween party, and we went out there and did the same thing, Bonnie and Clyde. It was fun.
So you speak of Bonnie and Clyde. Now their car was similar to this one, but it was 1 year off, right?
Yeah, it was a 34 four-door.
Okay, and did he really send Henry Ford a letter?
Oh yeah, he sent a letter thanking him for the horsepower and how fast that car was. It was a great getaway car. So, and there was actual footage of it.
Oh yeah, I got to look for that letter. If I can, I'm going to put it up too.
Yeah, it's on the internet.
Cool. You told me that this was in a magazine once before, right?
Yeah, it was in Street Scene magazine back when we were at the Tampa Street Rod Show. Had a picture of myself, the car, and Margie Gents, the lady who used to own the car back in the day. So she was in Peoria, Illinois with her husband Charlie way back in the day. It was the first Street Rod Show. So folks were nice enough to come out there and do an interview on us with the car and all. It was awesome.
That's great. Now, I know that you had like your son, well, just to start off with, I saw a picture on your wall and there was like your whole family was there, multiple generations.
Yeah. Yeah, we had a Ford generation. The one who started it all was my dad. He's the one that introduced us to going to the hot rod shows and all that. We've done that forever. I can't even remember when we started that. I've always done that with my dad. So my picture's with my dad, my son Tom, my grandson Tommy, and myself. We got a Ford generation picture around the car, which is really special. My dad passed away in 2021, so it was good to get a picture of everybody together.
Yeah. Okay, well, I appreciate the time you're giving us. Do you have a special shout out you want to give to anybody?
Absolutely. I want to thank again my dad because he got us into this hot rod and stuff, and my son Tom for finding the car on the internet. My brother Bob, who when we got the car, he did some work on it, helped us to get it down here to Florida. So I am very thankful for them. And one person I really would like to thank is my buddy Randall Russmore, where he's an old school hot rodder, so he knows these cars inside and out, and he's been instrumental in helping, working on the car, helping me with it. Very thankful for him.
That's great. Well, you guys heard it straight from Tom. If you like this episode, like and subscribe. See you later.